My name's Dianne Dickeman, and I have one painting in the show. It's a small canvas titled Columbia River near Hanford. I helped pull together the visual artwork for the show, and some of the memorabilia are history items also. Well, I got involved with it through my sister Nancy, who was one of the primary organizers and one of the people that came up with the original idea. The three people, Steve Gilbert, Nancy Dickeman, and Bill Withrop, came up with the idea, the concept of the exhibit, and the title, Particles on the Wall. And after they got that ball rolling, Nancy asked me if I would be willing to help work on it, to help organize the visual art and bring in some other artists to the exhibit. And then, so I agreed to do that, and how that came about.
So you do a lot of painting on your own?
I do. Yeah, my own work is mainly painting and drawing, pretty much all two-dimensional work. And yes, I do quite a bit of that. I don't exhibit a whole lot, but some. And
you grew up in Richland? Is that
I did, yeah. I was born in Richland and grew up there, lived there until I was about 18. And then I came back in my early 20s and lived there for another about 6-7 years. And then moved to Seattle in my late 20s. I came to Seattle and never lived there again. So that was, yeah.
Did you paint and do artwork then, when you were there?
I did, actually, yeah. I was one of those kids that was always drawing and painting, and you know, had the Encyclopedia Britannica issues on A and P in my room at all times. And yeah, so I did, and you know, took some classes during the time that I was there in my 20s. I took some art classes at Columbia Basin College, which is their community college. So yeah, I've always been involved in art.
So describe the piece you have in the show.
It is a landscape or a waterscape. I mean, it's about the Columbia River. It is something where I was trying to get the effect of water, light on water, reflections, but also based on my memory of the river, which was a very important aspect of life in the Tri-Cities. It's you know, it was just always a part of life, of, you know, walking by the river, swimming in the river, boating on the river, just always there in a really major way. And I think also it's a very important, I don't know exactly if spiritual is the right word to use, but it's an important, heartfelt aspect for people there. You know, you have this huge, beautiful body of water in this very arid landscape, and it's a very, very important thing visually and just, you know, in your heart. And definitely, you know, a huge part of life for the people who lived in that area for years, even before Hanford started, from the Native Americans, but also the settlers that lived there and farmed their little farms. Was the river, of course, was a very important aspect. For me, remembering my childhood in that area is, it's the river and the land that I remember with the most fondness. And when I go back now, which I don't do frequently, I don't have any family there anymore, but the land now, when I first come across the mountains and really get into that desert, it feels very stark and desolate even. But within a short period of time, an hour, that I'm just reminded again of the beauty. You know, it has its own beauty, and it's very quiet. It's not like looking at the ocean or a mountain vista, but it has its own real beauty. And that's what I remember is the land.
What do you hope to accomplish with this show, Articles on the Wall?
Well, we really hope that this will bring more focus to Hanford and to the situation there. And we feel that by including the artwork, you know, the visual art and the literary artwork, that it expands that audience that will see it and maybe stop and pause and pay attention, and then in doing that will then read some of the scientific things and gain more knowledge and awareness and help make some change.